doing something. Good. I will hang up this one.
Excellent. Ahí hizo el cambio de...
Wow. Hi everyone. Where am I?
Hello, Master.
Oh, I'm not visible.
Right.
Hello everyone.
Hello. Hola a todos.
Hola.
I see everyone. Alicia, Celeste, Raphael, and who else is there?
Dr. Ali?
Somebody see the name. Maria, Penelope, Drew. Okay. So, Jose, Adrian, Kojimaru, Maria, Veronica, Pablo. Oh, I see the Pablo here.
Right.
Pablo and Veronica. Okay. So, everyone, good evening. So nice to see you again.
Todos, buenas tardes y qué bueno verlos de vuelta.
Let me take this off. So everything's good on your end? You look all nice and smiling.
Sí, ¿está todo bien en nuestro lado? Creo que, digamos que sí, así que sí, que nos ve sonriendo.
Okay, good. That's helpful. Great. So I'm really happy to see your faces. Oh, sorry.
Está muy contento de ver nuestras caras de vuelta.
Great. So good evening again.
Buenas tardes de vuelta.
We spend a quality 1 hour together.
Vamos a pasar una hora de calidad juntos.
And today I will introduce one next chapter called Chapter on Generosity.
Oh, Master, just to remind you, we did that chapter already. It's the Sila Paramita, the chapter on discipline, this one.
Chapter of what?
Of discipline, of moral discipline, Shila.
Oh, we already finished the generosity. Finished?
Oh, yes, we finished last time.
Great. Thank you. Thank you. I think I'm the oldest in this group, so I have a right to forgetful.
So, sé que es el más grande de todos nosotros, sí que a veces se olvida.
It feels very happy to have that kind of right.
Está bueno tener ese derecho.
Okay, so we'll talk about the chapter of discipline.
Vamos a hablar del capítulo de disciplina.
A nutshell, the discipline talks about how.
Sorry, a nutshell in discipline is?
Means how, H-O-W, how.
Oh, o sea, una cosa importante en la disciplina es cómo ser disciplinado.
Versus what it is versus how it is.
No es tanto qué es, sino cómo uno es.
So, if you were to make a nice cup of tea, how you offer that to your guest, the value, the joy and the meaning will be determined by not so much of the tea itself, but how you cook it, how you make it, how you present it, how you receive your guests. That kind of how matters.
Si estoy haciendo un té, no es solamente el hecho de cómo hacer el té, que es lo importante, digamos, la receta del té, sino el cómo presentarlo, cómo ofrecerlo, en qué momento ofrecerlo. El cómo es importante.
In the spiritual discipline, the how is like anything else, is critical.
En la disciplina espiritual, el cómo es crítico.
I think I've talked many times, but I'll say it again in conjunction with the discipline, is that just to repeat again, we talked about peace, and everybody talks about peace, from the sage, from the saints, from the Buddha, all the way down to the most lowly criminals. We all talk about peace, but each does differently, and that determines the outcome of that peace in the end. So that gives you an idea what the word how means.
Dice, pensémoslo así, todo el mundo, desde los santos hasta todo el mundo, habla de la paz, ¿no? Ahora hay que intentar entender cómo funciona la paz, cómo hacer la paz, y la forma en la aplicación de eso va a determinar qué pasa con la paz en sí, no el concepto.
So in other words, your wisdom, your compassion, your peace, your meditation, everything, if it's separated, if it doesn't include the component of how, then they will never be achieved, basically.
Todos nosotros, la compasión, la sabiduría, la paz, sino que incluye un componente de aplicación, es decir, un cómo, esencialmente nunca serán perfeccionados.
The Western word morality is part of that how.
La palabra occidental moralidad es parte del cómo, ¿no?
In other words, I was joking to a Tibetan fellow. I say, if you put your finger in the fire, is that moral or immoral? And he laughed at it.
Está comentando otro tibetano y dice, si vos pones un dedo en el fuego, ¿eso es moral o inmoral?
You know, the word morality is a little limited, but the how is bigger. It includes morality, but it also expands, like putting your finger in the fire. It doesn't work. In other words, it will give you pain, even though you don't mean any harm, even though you're not thinking bad thoughts.
Sí. De la misma forma que aunque uno no piense malos pensamientos, si uno pone el dedo en el fuego, se va a lastimar. La palabra moralidad es una parte, digamos, la idea de hacer las cosas que no mal es una parte, pero tiene que incluir la aplicación, porque aunque uno no quiera generar cuestiones negativas, puede igual quemarse.
We often notice some of the bad things we do actually are done some of the bad things we don't do intentionally, but in fact they're done with good intention, but the end result is the opposite of the initial good intention. And then somewhere in the middle, the initial intention and end result are kinds of changes. So it's not recognizable that we didn't meant to have that, but then we have it. So the clue is that somewhere in the process, we fail to do the right thing.
Nosotros nos puede pasar que nosotros, aún teniendo las mejores intenciones, lleguemos a un resultado que es negativo. Entonces uno puede plantearse, pero si mi intención era correcta, ¿cómo pude llegar a esto? Entonces esto significa que en algún momento del proceso de llevar a cabo las intenciones, hemos fallado en dar algo.
In the spiritual matter, we call it morality or immorality, doing the right or wrong thing. But there's, as I hinted earlier, it has a bigger picture, a bigger scope to understand.
Sí. Nosotros lo podemos llamar aquí moralidad dentro de lo que sería la parte espiritual, pero en realidad es importante entender que tiene un alcance mayor si uno lo ve con más perspectiva.
So basically, generally, the morality has to do with action we do, if it harms oneself, if it harms others, if it harms one's own future, even if it helps at the present, anything that harms, that brings hurt and harm, or brings pain and suffering, whatever act is, intentional, mental, verbal, physical, we're going to call it immoral. Anything that is helpful, constructive, that is done through the body, speech, and mind, that action, the way how we do it, we're going to call it moral.
Ok, entonces la forma para entender dentro de este contexto las dimensiones moral y inmoral es la siguiente. Todo aquello que cause daño, sea destructivo o sea destructivo, cause dolor, vamos a llamarlo inmoral. y todo aquello que sea constructivo, que no cause dolor, sino que ayude, hecho con el cuerpo, la mente y el habla, vamos a llamarlo moral.
That we have to keep that in mind, because that without the moral foundation, as I mentioned in the beginning, all the spiritual worth will crumble like a house built on the weak foundation.
Esto es importante mantener en la mente porque sin una base en la moralidad, todo lo que construyamos, todo el edificio que construyamos de espiritualidad, se vendrá abajo como si no hubiéramos hecho los cimientos.
So basically, morality is the foundation of spirituality.
Por eso decimos que la moralidad es la base de la espiritualidad.
And we are taught in this chapter about the morality.
Y esto es lo que aprendemos en el capítulo sobre la moralidad.
So it is taught in the context of 3 parts.
Está enseñado en un contexto de 3 partes.
It has to do with the discipline, as mentioned, is the first step, beginner step, is not so much of helping and doing something good to the world, but making sure that we teach ourselves, train ourselves to create a code of conduct, meaning a behavior that is conducive to our spiritual development.
Sí. Vamos a empezar a hablar de disciplina. En el primer momento, no es tanto hacer bien de entrada, sino es adoptar un código de conducta o crear un código de conducta que sea conductivo a poder generar un entrenamiento espiritual.
In other words, in your life, whatever you do, especially spiritual matter, or even anything else you do, the formality, the procedure, a proper procedure, even you cook, say you cook pizza or something, there is a process that you must follow. You know, you cannot cook a pizza in the water, for example. I mean, it's too obvious. But you cannot have peace of mind if your more aspect of your life, your discipline aspect of life, will be inconsistent. It's not possible.
Entonces, para ponerlo así, si nosotros queremos cocinar, por ejemplo, cualquier cosa que nosotros queramos hacer, realmente hay una forma que resulta la que nos permite obtener un resultado correcto. Si nosotros queremos cocinar pizza, por ejemplo, no es que directamente tiramos la harina en agua, ¿no? Eso no va a dar resultados.
Basics of the morality has to do with our behaviors, especially our behavior of the body and our speech.
Esencialmente las básicas de la moralidad, las bases de la moralidad tienen que ver con nuestro comportamiento, del cuerpo y de la palabra.
How we live our life and how we use our mouth, basically.
Esencialmente dice sobre cómo vivimos nuestra vida y cómo usamos nuestra boca.
And it boils down to, at least common sense says, our body and our speech and mind, we create the scene that it stays healthy. In other words, it is functional.
Ok, entonces para hacer eso, nosotros podemos pensar qué cosas creamos para que nuestro cuerpo, palabra y mente se mantengan funcionales.
Meaning that you're healthy, mentally healthy, physically healthy.
Queriendo decir que estamos saludables en una forma física.
In other words, we cannot go to temples and go to the caves or do anything unless we take care of that. Our physical health is the lifeline of our spiritual worth. Our mental health is the lifeline of our spiritual development.
Lo que quiero decir es que es imposible ir a templos o a cuevas, a meditar, a hacer todo el resto de las cosas que gustaría, si no mantenemos tanto nuestra vida y nuestra mente sanas. Esa es la vida de nuestra práctica espiritual.
There's no separate areas or separate from our body, speech, and speech, a spiritual worth in us. In other words, there will be no spiritual values that can be entertained without using our worth on the basis of the life we have in the form of body and speech.
A ver, lo que está diciendo es, no existe un mundo espiritual o una categoría espiritual separada o que pueda ser usada más allá de nuestro cuerpo y nuestra palabra. No hay un alma o algo extra que nosotros podamos cuidar si no cuidamos nuestro cuerpo y nuestra palabra.
So all the disciplines from, no drinking, no killing, no stealing, everything comes under one code called how we protect ourselves from the harms. In other words, how we maintain a life that's fully protected from the harms we are vulnerable to.
Por eso todos los códigos de moralidad, sea el no emborracharse, sea el no matarse, el no robar, esencialmente pueden ser pensados como cómo proteger nuestra vida de aquellos daños que se nos puedan surgir, ¿no?
So we call it the discipline of committing oneself to stay away from all the harmful behaviors.
Esto podemos llamarlo la disciplina de mantenerse alejado de todo aquello que nos daña, de todos los comportamientos dañinos.
The detail, of course, in future when we study these things, we'll study in detail. But for now, at least to go further, ideally, I know some of you will not agree or happy, but ideally, rule number one is not to use drugs, substance, not abuse our body through smoking, drugs, through abuses, over whatever strenuous works, overworking, endangering our life. Any reasons for whatever it is, money, wealth, or some kind of status or excitement. If we risk our worth, our body, all our spiritual, every worth is out of question. So you can imagine that is common sense enough. So that is and then other will follow the details. But basically to keep the mind clear, functional, to keep the body functional, healthy. There's no alternative to our spiritual development without these two requirements.
Sí. Después cuando hagamos el repaso, cuando volvamos, vamos a ver los votos en más detalle. Pero ahora la primera regla, y esto es algo que por ahí a muchos les va a gustar, es no tomar drogas, no fumar cigarrillos y no hacer nada que pueda poner nuestro cuerpo y nuestra mente en riesgo, sea por excitación o por ganas o por dinero. Por supuesto, después hay un montón más de detalles, pero lo principal es eso, porque si nosotros no cuidamos nuestra mente y nuestro cuerpo, no hay nada que podamos llegar a conseguir si no los tenemos.
The other general caption will be the committing or at least taking step at a time, not just avoiding that is harmful to us, but something to gather, to collect, to acquire those that are helpful to us. That's the second aspect of the discipline.
Por otro lado, no solamente es evitar cosas, sino que es buscar aquellos hábitos, aquellas personas que nos ayudan. Ese es el segundo aspecto de la disciplina.
In other words, we don't just want to be a healthy and clear mind, good for nothing. We want to use this healthy body, speech, and mind so that we can do something meaningful things.
Sí, no es simplemente que queremos estar sanos y con la cabeza limpia, sino que simplemente queremos utilizar ese cuerpo, esa palabra, esa mente que están saludables para hacer cosas que tengan sentido, para poder ayudar.
And the third component discipline is a kind of leap forward, which is a discipline that whatever it takes you to do is to work on behalf for the benefit of all other beings.
Y otro componente de la disciplina, que es un salto más hacia más adelante, es que cualquier cosa que nosotros estemos haciendo, no importa que sea, la hagamos para el beneficio de todos los seres.
Meaning what you know about the what we call the great path, the path that includes the concerns for all, just, everybody who are just like us. That kind of transcending the self, beyond the self, trying to include without discrimination the sum totality of the universe itself. That kind of big heart, that kind of way of life and the discipline one pursues is called discipline of working for others.
Esencialmente lo que significa es que todo lo que hagamos tiene que ser hecho no solamente para los que somos nosotros, sino para todos los seres, sin discriminar. Vemos que ese tipo de corazón grande, ¿no? Ese tipo de amor que busca a todos los seres y trabaja para el universo mismo, esa es la disciplina del trabajo por los otros.
So that kind of gives you a synopsis of it, and then now it's a matter of pursuing the details.
Esto es esencialmente una sinopsis de la disciplina y ahora es cuestión de entrar en los detalles.
So that is, if you are heard about, some of you heard about it, we call Bodhisattva's way of life. It's actually the original meaning, it says way of life, meaning how they conduct themselves, how the Buddhas conduct themselves, how the Bodhisattvas conduct themselves. And our training is to learn how to behave, conduct along the line of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas.
Quizás algunos de ustedes han escuchado hablar del Bodhikariyavatara, del texto de la vida del Bodhisattva. En realidad lo que significa es la forma en que los Bodhisattvas se comportan. Es decir, esta es la forma en que los Budas y los Bodhisattvas de todos los tiempos se comportan de forma moral.
And the learning is not wholesale, but literally step by step. Kind of like learning language. When you learn language, you first learn a letter or two, eventually you learn the whole alphabet. Then you learn how to compose words and syllables and words. You take step by step, and there's a lifetime of learning the words and the language. So spiritual matter is that learning is not black and white, but it's a nurturing learning. Nurturing meaning we learn from the point where we stand, not compares to somebody else. In other words, we are the platform based upon which we learn things.
En la forma uno aprende el tema de la moralidad es paso por paso, como cuando uno aprende un lenguaje, ¿no? Uno aprende un idioma, uno primero aprende el alfabeto, después puede empezar a poner palabras, y luego día a día va mejorando y pasa su vida practicando el idioma nuevo. El tema de la disciplina es lo mismo, y uno tiene que entender que uno es la base en la cual aprende, es decir, no compite con otros seres, sino que uno aprende y va mejorando desde el lugar en que uno esté parado.
In learning, we need to learn one basic, what do you call? Meaning there's one in critical part, which is learn what is critical, learn what is not critical. In other words, we cannot learn everything at the same time. You learn one thing a little bit at a time. Is that right? In other words, if you are a parent and you're bringing a child to grow up, there's certain things you cannot not do. You have to protect the child from the extreme heat and cold. Is that right? And you have to protect the child from being harmed that threatens life, like, say, eating bad food or poisonous foods. Something like that. In your spiritual life, there are certain things that, whether you know it, whether you don't know it, whether you did it intentionally or even unintentionally, as a learning process, we need to learn what are those critical parts that without disciplining those areas, all other, no matter how important it is, will render it meaningless. So that distinction we need to learn.
Como en cualquier cosa en la disciplina hay que aprender. Lo primero que hay que aprender es qué es lo que es crítico y qué es lo que no es crítico. En todo campo hay cosas que uno puede aprender después, pero hay cuestiones que tiene que aprender sí o sí en un orden para poder seguir avanzando. Como cuando uno tiene un hijo, por ejemplo, hay cosas que uno tiene que hacer sí o sí, protegerlo de los extremos de temperatura, por ejemplo, de los golpes, ¿no? Y otras cuestiones que les puede enseñar y no son tan necesarias. Es lo mismo en el tema de la disciplina. Tenemos que aprender qué es lo que es crítico, empezar por eso, y luego podemos ir sumando módulos o etapas.
In other words, if you miss dinner, nothing's going to happen except you will be upset.
Sí, es como si decir, bueno, si uno se pierde la cena, no es tan grave, era un poco de hambre en cualquier caso.
Or if somebody banked and make a big dent on your car, nothing is going to happen in your life.
Sí, si alguien, por ejemplo, nos choca un poco el auto y se hace una bolladura, no nos va a pasar nada en nuestra vida.
In fact, if you look at it properly, you might even gain something. Sometimes it does.
Sí, y a veces si uno lo ve de forma apropiada, hasta uno puede terminar ganando algo. A veces pasa.
These are just events, the innocent events. It's nothing serious about it.
Estos son eventos inocentes, no hay nada serio sobre ellos.
I watch Indian movies. They always have one. In the US, the movies are bad guys, gangsters, and police chasing it. That's one formula, constant chasing. In India, the formula is boy and girl falling in love. And then the formula is this: they just were worse enemies. They just fight, they want to kill each other. But something happens, and then it's the twist of the story, and then now they cannot live without each other. So you can see there is a funny thing. I call it innocence. It is if you're lucky, it is beautiful. If you're unlucky, or if you're not educated, it's destructive. So there are a lot of innocent things happening, and that's okay, but a lot of deadly, critical, destructive things. We need to learn distinction between these two. And I'll point something out, which you probably know, you already know, but this is my job to point the finger. And then really to bring the awareness of the things that we already know, and if you don't know, something to know.
Él ve películas más de Bollywood que las americanas. En las americanas siempre la historia es la misma. Hay unos buenos, unos malos, y los buenos persiguen a los malos y los ganan. En Bollywood es al revés. En Bollywood siempre la historia es un chico y una chica que se conocen y al principio son enemigos y no pueden estar juntos y de repente algo pasa, hay un cambio y empiezan a amarse. Dice, y esto uno puede darse cuenta que es una cuestión que tiene que ver con este cambio de perspectiva, ¿no? Con la cuestión, él lo llama inocencia. Entonces, la inocencia en realidad puede ser útil o puede ser simpática, pero si uno no sabe distinguirla o no está educado, puede ser mortal. lo más importante es distinguir aquellos acontecimientos que son inocentes de aquellos que son serios y darles el valor correcto a cada uno. Ahora él nos va a explicar cómo, dice, por ahí esto va a ser muy simple para la mayor parte de nosotros, pero está bueno que su trabajo es señalarlo, ¿no?
So today, for the rest of the 20 minutes, I will suggest a few things, or at least I will bring a few things that are critical.
Entonces, por los 20 minutos que quedan, va a traer unos temas, o va por lo menos sugerir algunas cuestiones que él considera críticas para la disciplina.
This is just introduction, and then in the future, we're going to go back to these chapters we talk about, practices.
Esto es solamente una introducción. En el futuro vamos a volver al capítulo y vamos a ir parte por parte.
I would say golden, it is, actually, I'd like to ask you a question. It would be funny, it could be a funny answer. Or maybe you already know. I'd like to hear from you. Which is more serious issue, say, when it comes to discipline, between smoking and eating chicken?
Entonces, acá es una pregunta. ¿Qué es más grave? ¿El fumar o el comer gallina? El comer pollo. Quiero aclarar que con smoking generalmente se refiere a fumar cigarrillos, otras cosas, ¿no? Que igual también considera que es. Y digo, nos pregunta a todos, ¿qué es peor? ¿Cigarrillo? ¿Quieren poner en el chat o quieren decirlo? ¿Gallina o fumar?
We're talking subjectively, of course. We're not talking about how much harm we can do to others. That's another issue.
Subjetivamente. Give me 1 second, Master. I'll mute everyone because I think they're muted. Let me mute everyone. Just a second. Maria says, both things are bad. Yes, sí, pero no es una respuesta.
Fumando uno se hace mal uno, y comiendo gallina le hace mal a la gallina. Por la mano.
Nicolas says, smoking is bad for you, but eating chicken is bad for the chicken.
Okay.
And Maria says, eating chicken is worst.
Yes, for me as well. For chicken.
Great. How about
Same thing.
Chicken is worse?
Same thing.
Same thing, okay.
But if you kill the chicken, maybe it's worse.
Okay.
the chicken.
Yeah, I would say even worse. What is worse? Smoking and killing chicken. We're not talking about poor chicken. We're talking about ourselves, how bad it is for us. And we'll talk about the chicken some other time.
Dice, no, a ver, lo que va a preguntar es, ¿cuán malo es para nosotros? Estamos hablando del pollo. ¿Cuán malo para nosotros es o fumar o matar una gallina? Veronica says, eating chicken is harm to others.
Okay, how about yourself? What is more harmful to you? Eating chicken, killing chicken, and smoking or drink?
To myself, Master?
I mean, I'm asking everyone. I got some of that.
Okay. O sea, ¿alguien más quiere decir que es peor matar y comer a la gallina o fumar?
Matar y comer.
He says, killing and eating.
Okay.
Pablo says, if we smoke, we damage our health and we lose the chance to practice. If we kill the chicken, we generate negative karma to ourselves. We put some trouble in our practice.
Actually, this is funny, but it's important for you to think about it. We're talking about big pictures, is that right? Mm-hmm. This world, this universe, the world you live. I'm not saying that that's all about it, but it's just to have some understanding. But actually, killing a chicken is not at all good, but killing, smoking is killing oneself. So if you look at it that way, I would say, if you are a kind person, bodhisattva, and if it requires you to smoke to save chicken, yes, I think you should smoke. But let us say if you do have a choice not to kill chicken, not to smoke, and you still eat chicken or smoke, then we know eating chicken is an extremely minor issue. Because if you smoke or drink or use drugs, which is same, will destroy you. Now, knowing fully, I'm not talking to everybody in the world, I'm talking to you as this group who found your path, this Buddha's teaching. This is really a personal question, which I know we have issues. We do eat chicken, we do smoke, and we do drink, and we do use drugs as human beings. So this is something serious to think about, where the moral issue comes in, where the first of your training is to discern what is what.
Okay, give me 1 second, master.
Sorry for that.
No problem. Lo que dice es, a ver, esto está hablando de una cuestión, dice, por supuesto, dice, lo que él piensa es lo siguiente. Por supuesto está mal matar a una gallina. Ahora, si uno puede, y uno es un bodhisattva, y mediante el fumar puede de alguna forma salvar a una gallina, deberíamos fumar. Pero si las opciones son las dos, es peor fumar que matar a una gallina, porque matar a una gallina es matar a un ser vivo, pero fumar es matarse a uno mismo. Y uno mismo acá encontrar el camino del bodhisattva está trabajando para todos los seres. Dice, y quiero hacer la aclaración de que esto no es para cualquier persona, lo que está diciendo, sino es aquellos que se han comprometido a seguir el camino del bodhisattva. Con lo cual, dice, es muy importante entender que uno, una vez que lo sigue, tiene que pensar en que uno vive y trabaja para todos los seres. Esto puede ser emborracharse, esto puede ser usar drogas, cualquier cuestión. Nosotros como seres humanos tomamos, y a veces fumamos, y a veces usamos drogas, pero uno lo que tiene que pensar, y esta es la base del razonamiento, es que uno está acá utilizando eso, utilizando el cuerpo, utilizando la salud para ayudar a todos los seres. Por lo tanto, fumar en este caso lo considera que es peor, ¿no? En este contexto.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Master, I just unmuted you. You had yourself muted.
You have the power to, yeah, that's good. I will say a few more words about that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not suggesting and kill the chicken and stop drinking or smoking. I'm not saying that, just in case you misunderstood. But what it is just to give you an idea that you haven't thought seriously about it. Because the worth of the universe is dependent on you and me, each individual. Each individual, all the good things, if there is something to come out, it has to come from an individual like you and me. If we hurt, destroy ourselves through our behaviors, it's like saying there's a young man, 18-year-old, so much potential, you know, he's smart, he's best in school, best in the college, best in everything. He's the love of his parents' life, everything, and he's killed in the by truck. Then we say what? All the worth, every potential is gone with that young man. Is that right? Is that right? That's how you say it?
Right. Entonces dice, ¿por qué es importante esto? Porque el potencial del universo es responsabilidad nuestra, nosotros, él y todos los seres, ¿no? O sea, es como, y por eso es importante que nosotros podamos cuidarnos y vivir bien. Porque si uno es como los casos en los cuales uno ve una persona joven que es brillante, es atlética, es capaz, y todo el mundo le ve un gran potencial y de repente tiene un accidente y se muere. Todo el potencial de hacer bien, todo el potencial de ayudar, ido en un instante, ¿no?
So in that sense, just to repeat so you don't misunderstand, I'm not promoting poor chicken is not worth anything. But I think if we destroy ourselves, there's no hope for the world, for the universe.
Solo para aclarar, él no está diciendo comemos, matemos gallinas o fumemos o nada de estilo. Lo que está queriendo decir es, si nos destruimos a nosotros mismos, no hay esperanza para el universo.
And so the rule number one is to understand what is critical and not critical is that we need to, if you miss the dinner, it's fine. If somebody bangs you on your car, it's fine. If you even lose your job, it's fine. But we cannot lose our mind.
Entonces, lo que hay que entender es que si nosotros nos perdemos una comida, no hay problema. Si nosotros hasta nos chocan el auto, tampoco hay problema. Hasta si perdemos el trabajo, tampoco hay problema. Lo que no podemos perder es nuestra mente.
This is, if you do understand it, that's done, deal with it. If you don't, then think serious about this one issue.
Dice, si lo entienden, está perfecto, y si no, por favor, denle tiempo y pensamiento a este punto.
Let's just the little say something about the body. And about the speech, the discipline, I noticed, especially in the Western culture, there is absolutely no what do you call serious attention given to the effects of our behavior that has to do with our speech.
Dice, una cosa que yo me he dado cuenta es que aquí en la cultura occidental no se le presta atención a cómo nuestro habla afecta y cómo está relacionado con nuestro comportamiento.
Hundreds of millions of things can be said about it in your training. But one thing for tonight's sake, saying anything that undermines anything else, people's dignity, people's feeling, including one's own, that takes in the form of, just a even casual gossips, are to be taken critically serious, fundamentally serious.
Quizás la forma más útil para pensarlo hoy es que todo lo que nosotros digamos que le saque dignidad o que le saque fuerza, digamos que ridiculice los sentimientos de otras personas o los nuestros propios, aunque sea en un cuchicheo casual, tienen que ser considerados como fundamentalmente serios.
Because this is one area that in English there is a saying, we don't know what hit us. Is that right? Is that you understand?
Right.
Yeah, that happens. We suffer so much and we never know why. And certainly there are subtle issues we don't know, but most of them are too obvious that it has directly to do with our behaviors. I mean, not the behavior of the past, some years, lifetime before, but the behavior of the instant of this life, the day-to-day life, dictates our value, the quality of our life. We're going to call it instantaneous karma, part of it.
En inglés, los americanos dicen, no sé qué me pasó, no sé qué me está golpeando, no sé qué me está pasando, como si algo te hubiera tacleado de la nada. Y hay veces que hay causas sutiles y más complejas de por qué estamos mal, cuando estamos mal y sufrimos, pero en muchos casos tienen que ver con algo de nuestro comportamiento pasado, y no pasó en el sentido de vidas pasadas o hasta hace años nuestros, sino con el comportamiento del día a día. Él lo llama karma instantáneo.
So much so that the discipline should include the mindfulness of measuring every word we say.
Algunos dicen que la disciplina debería incluir la atención a cada palabra, la medición de cada palabra que estamos diciendo.
Something we are not familiar, something if we should actually, it will be inconvenient, but something is essential that we must learn to how we measure our words, the words we say to others, about others, even including about oneself.
Es algo que no estamos acostumbrados, pero estaría bueno empezar a pensar en cómo medir las palabras que decimos a los otros, sobre otros, o especialmente sobre nosotros mismos.
Now that's the area that we are very weak in because we mostly follow what we call mundane dharma, you know. Well, we like this, oh, it's nice, oh, nice people. I mean, our spiritual world is based on, oh, nice group of people, oh, nice person, oh, nice friend, oh, nice teacher. All of these are actually nonsense. Because we actually, what we're really looking for is what is that we can learn and then improve and evolve and grow. But of course, that's the last in the list we do.
¿Okay? Muchas veces dice, lo que nos pasa es que seguimos el Dharma mundano. El Dharma mundano es que nos juntamos en las cuestiones espirituales, pues nos cae bien la gente, me gusta esto o no me gusta esto, y buscamos eso. Buscamos pasarla bien, cuando en realidad lo que deberíamos estar buscando es que nos permite a nosotros crecer, ¿no? Que nos permite a nosotros mejorar.
Of course, in our life, at other areas we do that. A farmer will work day and night because they know if you don't work, then there's no food to eat at the end of the season. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're army, you even risk your life protecting the nation. That's high ideal, but basically you're doing a job to make a living. Is that right?
Right.
And if you're a shopkeeper, you count every dollar and every quarter, including every pennies, because that's how you make your money. But we, the spiritual adventurers, don't do that. So this is something strangely misunderstood by us.
Okay. Entonces, dice, nosotros, piénsalo así, nosotros tenemos una gran ventaja. La persona que cría gallinas las tiene que matar para poder vivir. La persona, el soldado, está bien, puede ir a la guerra o no, pero generalmente está trabajando tiene un trabajo. La persona que tiene una tienda está contando cada centavito para poder llegar. Pero nosotros que estamos en camino espiritual, no tenemos que ser así, ¿no? No. Sin embargo, nosotros no lo pensamos así, no pensamos del tipo de atención que tiene que ver, ¿no?
So the training should include the in future we'll talk about this. Should include learning, introducing the basic concept of what is helpful and what is harmful, and that is the premise we work. It's like you know, if you have money, you buy things, and if you're intelligent, you think about the object you buy, what it's worth, and based on that, you pay money. Same idea. You live a life, you assess it, what is worth to say or not to say, to think and not to think certain ways, to eat or don't eat something, to live a life certain ways. These all should measured and assessed and then take a step in the spiritual context.
De la misma forma, eso en el futuro tenemos que empezar vamos a introducir más conceptos de esto, pero lo esencial es qué es lo que es útil y qué es lo que hace daño. Entonces nosotros tenemos que pensarlo fríamente y medir medir qué es lo que vamos a decir, qué es lo que vamos a pensar, ¿nos sirve o no nos sirve? ¿Qué es lo que vamos a comer? Esencialmente tenemos que sacarle valor a la vida. Si nosotros fuéramos a comprar algo caro, veríamos las reviews y compararíamos y mediríamos y veríamos si nos sirve, si sirve hacer la inversión. En la vida tenemos que hacer lo mismo, tenemos que medir y saber si lo que hagamos va a ayudar, va a ser útil o va a ser dañino.
Let's jump to the mind. It's very simple. We simplify it. The mind should either be harmless, making sure that we don't harm ourselves, mental of not harming mentally oneself and others.
Sí, y ahora pasemos rápidamente a la mente. La mente es muy simple. Lo único que tenemos que asegurarnos es que nuestros pensamientos no nos lastimen a nosotros o a otros.
Any action we do, physically, verbally, it should be preceded by the mind, which thinks of good thoughts, which watches the mind, whether it's doing these acts with proper thought or improper thought. That kind of a morality that we need to introduce to the state of the mind itself.
Si cualquier acción que hagamos debería estar precedida por la metacognición de la mente, que se fija si los pensamientos y las intenciones están siendo buenas o malas. Ese tipo de moralidad tenemos que introducir en nuestra propia mente.
It doesn't mean that you are capable of doing it. It means that you're putting an effort.
No significa que necesariamente nos tiene que salir, significa que tenemos que tomarlo como algo para esforzarnos, ¿no? Para practicar.
In the world of training, you never should not include the concern how good you are, how much you're doing it, and whether you have any kind of good feeling about it. They don't matter at all. In the world of training is like eating a food by a sick person who says, I don't like to eat, or it doesn't taste good, I don't feel like eating. That doesn't matter. Is that right? Same way, spiritual journey will have the similar version of distractions and the misunderstanding. So in this world of training, the critical part is putting an effort.
En el mundo de entrenamiento no es necesario, no es útil tener pensamientos de cuán bien estoy, cuán mal estoy, compararse con el resto. Es como cuando una persona está enferma y débil y le ofrecen comida y dicen, no, a mí no me gusta tanto esto. Uno tiene que comer, uno tiene que practicar. De la misma forma, en el mundo de cuando nosotros estamos entrenando, no es tan importante el pensar si estamos haciendo tanto mejor o tanto peor o tener una idea de dónde estamos, sino simplemente hacer el esfuerzo.
Then, of course, a morality of helping others or pursuing a path that has an altruistic outlook, that has to do fundamentally with the state of the mind itself. Mind dictates, basically.
Y por supuesto, el seguir un camino que ayuda altruísticamente a todos los seres, el camino que ayuda a todos los seres, tiene que ver con la mente, ¿no? La mente dicta la acción.
You know, there are areas that I told you earlier, the mind don't necessarily dictate, like if you put your hand in the hot plate, the mind may be thinking good thought, but the hot plate is going to burn your hand. Is that right?
Right.
I mean, mind don't decide. Your body, the physics decides, whereas the physical aspect of your discipline becomes separate from the state of the mind. And at the same time, overlapping this totality of your physical, verbal, mental discipline is the mind, altruistic mind, that encompasses them all. And that constitutes what we call the morality of altruistic mind that includes the concerns in a loving and compassionate manner, the concerns of all beings. That kind of discipline, you constantly, when you eat, you eat with the consciousness is good for my health, which in turn is good for the world, which in turn will contribute to upliftment of humanity, which will, etc., etc. There's that kind of direct, indirect effect that we need to include.
Cuando nosotros, por supuesto, hay cosas que la mente directamente no controla, como en el ejemplo antes de poner el dedo, ¿no?, sobre el fuego. Por más que pensemos pensamientos positivos, igual nos vamos a quemar. Hay una parte que tiene que ver con la biología y con la física, que eso va a funcionar igual. Pero cuando uno lo ve en general, lo más importante es, aparte de la disciplina del cuerpo, de la mente y de la palabra, es la mente altruista, que esencialmente ayuda a trabajar al resto de los seres y que esencialmente nos lleva y nos guía, ¿no?, en la dirección en la cual nosotros tenemos que practicar.
And finally, the discipline, except for the critical one that cannot be changed, like killing is never good for us, right? There are other aspects of discipline is conditional. Conditional meaning that it becomes good or bad based on the situation. It doesn't matter whether I hurt a poor chicken happily or hatefully. Poor chicken gets hurt. Is that right?
Right.
In the same way, there are certain behavior will hurt us no matter what we do. But there are behaviors, it only becomes negative conditionally. We call time and place. And that will be areas of your learning. What constitutes good or what constitutes harm or no harm. Kind of like medicines. I remember when I was young, one young Tibetan girl, her entire body is kind of like peeling off skins. And we asked what's happening to her. And the doctors gave a medicine that saying that she has TB. So she was taking a TB medication and it just ruined her life and she dies. But I was taking the same medicine. It healed me. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Because I have a TB and then it healed me, or she don't have a TB, they mistakenly gave TB medicine. So you can see there are so many areas of our life and behaviors, conducts, that if we don't know properly, could be harmful.
A ver, vamos a hacer una cuestión. Salvo el hecho de matar, que para nosotros que estamos acá, nunca es bueno, el resto de las cuestiones que nos hacen matar pueden a veces ser positivas o negativas. Todo va a tener que ver con el lugar y el tiempo, el contexto esencialmente. Por ejemplo, cuando yo era chico, había una chica que tenía tuberculosis, era una chica cuya piel también se le caía a pedazos y le dieron a ella también medicina de tuberculosis. Y a ella, que no tenía tuberculosis, la terminó matando. Pero yo tomé la misma medicina y esa misma medicina me terminó curando. Entonces, podemos ver que no es tanto una cuestión simple como es la medicina, sino que tiene que ver con el contexto. Él tenía la enfermedad correcta y lo sirvió, y se equivocaron con la chica y la pobre chica murió.
There are behaviors we do, like say, I'm angry because people are not patient.
Hay, por ejemplo, comportamientos que pueden ser como me enojo con la gente que no es paciente.
So that gives you idea that we're really confused in our behaviors. So that's where it gives you idea there's from the day one you pursue this path until you become Buddhahood. The learning of the discipline never ends. There's always something new to learn, something to evolve, something to grab, something. But the basic, what we learn as a beginning step, we cannot not miss the basic understanding, which I mentioned to you, like say, protect your sanity of the mind, whether it is anger or this drugs. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of idea. And then the same thing, protect the sanity of your health. Don't want to smoke or drink or do other deadly, harmful things. They have no alternative. As it's okay to miss your dinner for the next 1 week, it still is okay. But it's not okay to lose your health, etc., etc. So it gives you idea of where, the depth and the width, the way we need to explore step by step.
Así que nosotros podemos ver que si nosotros a veces uno se enoja por una persona que con una persona no tiene paciencia, podemos estar confundidos en qué es un voto. Y esto tiene que ver con que uno empieza, y el día que empieza el camino hasta que se transforma en un Buda, no siempre está ajustando y aprendiendo una disciplina. Entonces eso lo vamos a ir viendo tranquilamente con el paso del tiempo, pero lo principal es no se lastimen, no fumen cigarrillos, no tomen drogas, no se emborrachen, no lastimen no hagan daño a su salud, ¿no? Porque eso no hay alternativa. Eso no hay alternativa.
So today, I think that's good enough. I will entertain questions if you do have.
Right, there's a couple written, Master?
What?
There's a couple written down.
Oh, great. Then please explain that.
Can I make just one observation, Master, before we proceed?
Yeah.
Can I be a good prasangika and smoke the chicken?
Can you say again, please?
Can I be a good prasangika and smoke the chicken and solve it like good?
You're still good, but you will lose your life.
Well, but smoked chicken. So, Master, the first question is from Veronica. Says, all beings are not the same. Is compassion the same for all beings? If someone with power damages and takes another's life and then justifies it, do we have to have the same compassion to him?
Can you say the second last sentence?
Sure. If someone with power harms and kills someone else, right? And then justifies it, do we ourselves have to have the same kind of compassion towards him, towards the doer of harm?
Yeah. Actually, this question is not exactly related to our discipline, but it's a very nice question because all of these things are connected, so I'm happy to answer it.
Sí, esta pregunta no es tanto una pregunta de disciplina, pero es una buena pregunta, así que la va a contestar.
Of course, everything eventually boils down to certain things like compassion. So we will never not talking about it one way or another.
Dice, por supuesto todo esto tiene que ver con compasión y nunca no vamos a hablar de esto en ese sentido, ¿no?
Yeah, compassion is the only thing that's real. Everything is fake.
Sí, la compasión es lo único que es real, el resto es una mentira.
I say this word because compassion will not deceive us.
Digo esto porque la compasión nunca nos va a engañar.
And it's so much so that it's not even an idea. It's just, it is our very nature. Our very nature is compassion.
Sí, y esto es porque nuestra propia naturaleza, nuestra naturaleza más interna es compasión.
And that's why we practice compassion. We can only become who we are, not something else.
Sí, por eso, mediante practicar la compasión, podemos transformarnos en lo que somos y no otra cosa.
So if there is a way to operate on the mind of everyone, from humans to animals to insects, you will find that quality. Yeah.
Si hubiera una forma de acceder a la mente de todos, ¿no? Hasta de los humanos y los animales y lo que sea, encontraríamos esa cualidad de base.
Violence and harmful are not good because even it at times looks good, it will eventually deceive us. It's not going to. In other words, there's no way of perfecting violence.
Sí, la violencia y hacer daño, aunque a veces nos parezca que tiene sentido, nunca es buena. No porque no funcione, sino porque eventualmente nos va a engañar, nos va a hacer una trampa. No hay forma de perfeccionar la violencia y el daño.
So, compassion is universal or purpose. If people are compassionate to us, we should be compassionate. If people are harmful to us, we should be compassionate. If people are trusting or distrusting, no matter what happens, our effort, remember, effort is to exude compassion.
Sí. Por lo tanto, si la gente es compasiva con nosotros, tenemos que ser compasivos. Si son no son compasivos con nosotros, tenemos que ser compasivos. Si la gente confía o desconfía, no importa, nuestro esfuerzo, y recuerden, es un esfuerzo, es una práctica, tiene que ser mantenernos esta compasión hacia todos los seres.
As the beginner's path, if you practice compassion so that they will be nice to you, I think it's wrong.
O sea, como un comienzo, si uno piensa que por ser compasivo con el resto de la gente va a tratar mejor, eso es una equivocación.
Is it as good as saying, okay, if I eat nice food, because Lama Pema looks skinny, then if you're not nice to me, and if I stop eating food, it doesn't matter to you. It's going to hurt myself. If I'm expecting that people like me because now I'm eating proper food, is that right? It has nothing to do with the people whether they like it or not. It's for my own good. Same thing. If I am compassionate and loving to others, and if they are not loving to me, it doesn't matter because it's just good for me, basically. And if we are doing this thing expecting a kind of return love and compassion, I think we'll lose. We'll fail.
Sí, es como si yo, dice, claro, Pema es flaco, entonces digo, bueno, voy a comer con él comida sana, y después voy y espero que la gente, yo le caiga bien a la gente por comer comida sana. Es un error, porque uno come comida sana para uno mismo, digamos, porque le hace bien a uno, no porque está esperando que el resto de la gente lo quiera. De la misma forma, si yo soy compasivo y presente con la gente, y esperamos que la gente lo sea con nosotros, vamos a perder, porque no lo van a hacer. Uno tiene que entender que es parte de una forma de ayudarse uno mismo, no de hacer algo con el resto de la gente.
In fact, I used to do that as a kid. When I'm angry, I will not eat food. But actually, I'm the one who's hungry in the end.
Dice, cuando yo era chico y estaba enojado, no comía comida, no comía la cena. Y entonces lo que resultaba es que estaba enojado y con hambre.
And my mother would say, food is here, you either eat it or you don't eat it. It's up to you.
Sí, y mi madre decía, bueno, la comida está acá, o la comes o no la comes, lo que vos quieras.
And I feel really devastated because nobody cares whether I eat it or don't. So who lose? I lose.
Y me sentía muy mal porque a nadie le importaba que la comiera o no, con lo cual el que perdiera yo.
Okay, we'll go to the next question.
The next one says, as a surgeon and wanting to do the good to my patients, sometimes things get complicated and the initial intention of doing good ending making the patient suffer more involuntarily. How should I take this? How should I approach this thing? Should I read again?
Yes, please.
As a surgeon, when I'm working, sometimes following my intention of not making the patient suffer makes the patient suffer even more, of course, involuntarily. How should I approach this situation?
Oh.
And sorry, and how to explain to the patients, right, that are suffering?
Yeah. I think you have to see the bigger picture that will help, not particular issue. I think as a caregiver surgeon, I think you need to combine. That's why you're here, to really bring compassion and love. People understand. Smart, stupid, angry, every walk of people, good or bad people, they understand, you trust them, you love them. And that's a extremely healing thing. So the reasons don't work well. As a teacher, I'm a surgeon in a psychological sense. I try to operate a lot of things. It never works through talking. But what works is when I'm nice to them. Is that right? It's just be kind to them and care for them. That's a powerful thing. It just solves a lot of problems. It takes, actually, within a few minutes, it works. But if I don't do it right, it takes me hours and days to explain that still they don't understand. So the language of communication is not always verbal, but actual your caring is a form of communication. So as a surgeon, I strongly suggest, especially this day and age, when you treat people, they're like a little machine to fix it. Okay, next kind of idea. Then they know that they feel bad about it. But you really care about, even if it's just 1 minute, 2 minutes, to really exude. Now that you found the Buddha teaches that caring part. A less word, more action, more caring is much more powerful. And that's a bigger picture. It doesn't solve everybody's problem, but you have a better chance of solving or at least handling the problem, what we call managing the problem. And who knows, some people truly understand. Some people just understand without saying a word when you care for it, genuinely inside, for their well-being, for their betterment of their life, because you are literally, according to Christianity, you're the God. Basically, you can give them a life or don't. You have that much power. Yeah.
Lo que dice, lo principal es quedarse con la perspectiva mayor, ¿no? Que por ahí uno no puede a veces ayudarlos tanto, pero la forma de ayudarlos es mediante cuidarlos, mientras ser afectuoso, mientras contenerlos. Yo como maestro soy a veces un cirujano de la mente, dice, y muchas veces quiero hacer un montón de cuestiones y esas cuestiones no me salen bien, pero mediante la contención que les brindo a mis alumnos, mediante el ser amable, estar ahí, escuchar, acompañar, mucho de eso funciona igual. Entonces, esto es lo principal, ¿no? Preocuparse, a veces la acción no verbal es mucho más fuerte, con lo cual, por ahí este cuidar y escuchar al otro y contenerlo, que es parte de la enseñanza del Buda, es lo más útil. Por ahí no vas a ayudar a todo el mundo, por ahí hay gente que vas a poder ayudar y hay gente que por ahí vas a poder ayudar menos, pero lo principal es mantener la actitud.
Yeah, that caring truly helps.
El preocuparse y cuidar a otro realmente ayuda.
Are there more questions? No,
¿Alguna otra consulta más? ¿Alguien más está por escribir o no? Levante la mano. Espera, sí. Yes, Master. Celeste is writing one.
Oh.
No, perdón. Sorry. My mistake. ¿Alguna consulta más? Gente, ¿así o no? ¿No? Okay, Master, I think we're out of questions.
Great. So I thank you so much, everyone. These meetings are to mainly not so much to teach you, but to really think and challenge and provoke, think seriously, and just to so that you think about it. That's our purpose, our meeting.
Dice, muchas gracias a todos de vuelta por estar acá. Estas reuniones son menos para enseñar que más para desafiar y provocarlos a pensar, ¿no? Este es el propósito de estos encuentros.
And the idea is to think better, know better, and slowly adapt those ideas, experiment, practice, rehearse, and then change and evolve ourselves, and then through that the way to change basically the world is to change within first.
Esto es para que nosotros pensemos, adaptemos y recordar que si nosotros queremos cambiar el mundo, tenemos que cambiar internamente primero.
So thank you very much, everyone, and I would love to see you again soon.
Dice que muchas gracias a todos y está contento de vernos próximamente. Thank you, Master.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lama Pema.